10 years younger in just one procedure. That's exactly how 9D lifting is being promoted across Chinese social media today. Millions of views, perfect before and after videos, instantly lifted faces right after the procedure, and content that makes a plastic surgery look almost like a TikTok filter. But here's the real question: why does everything look almost too perfect? And what's actually behind the viral trend of 9D lifting? Today we are going to talk about what this procedure really is, why it became so popular, and how social media is changing the perception of aesthetic medicine, and why it's important to stay critical when watching viral beauty content online. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Miamo channel. Here we talk about modern aesthetic procedures, skincare, beauty trends, and how the beauty industry is evolving around the world. Over the last few years, China has become one of the biggest centers of aesthetic medicine in Asia. This is where viral videos of dramatic transformations, instant lifting effects, V-line contouring, and minimal downtime procedures started taking over social media. One of the most talked about trends is something called 9D lifting. But here is something important to understand. Today, the term 9D lifting can refer to completely different procedures depending on the clinic. In some places, it may refer to thread lifting, in others, it may involve temple lifting techniques, and sometimes it is a simply marketing term for a combination of different lifting procedures. In other words, there is no single universal definition of what 9D lifting actually is. And that's where a lot of confusion begins, because on social media, everything looks incredibly simple. A patient walks in looking tired. A few clips later, a perfectly lifted contours, a sharper jawline, a more defined mid-face, and almost no visible recovery. And that's exactly what makes this type of content so viral, especially when it's paired with phrases like instant rejuvenation, next generation lifting, or the future of plastic surgery. But it is important to remember, any procedure that creates a significant lifting effect is still a serious intervention, and real recovery is always individual. There may be swelling, sensitivity, discomfort, a healing period, and gradual tissue adaptation over the following weeks or months. That's why specialists always say that it's impossible to objectively evaluate the procedure based only on a short TikTok or Instagram video, especially in today's heavily edited social media environment. Beauty culture in Asia is deeply connected to the digital aesthetics. Filters, skin smoothing, AI face editing, perfect lighting, retouching, and facial shaping effects have become part of everyday online content. And sometimes it becomes difficult to separate real procedure results from editing and visual enhancement, especially considering how popular beauty standards like V-line, baby face, small facial proportions, glass skin, and so-called AI face have become across Asian social media. Naturally, procedures that visually create a stronger lifting effect receive a massive attention online. But one thing is important to remember: aesthetic medicine is not a TikTok filter. Results depend on facial anatomy, skin quality, tissue structure, age, technique, specialist experience, and proper recovery. And it is especially important to think carefully before traveling abroad for aesthetic procedures, because social media often shows only the final polished result, not the consultation process, the recovery, or the possible complications and limitations. This doesn't mean there aren't highly skilled specialists in China or Korea. In fact, Asia is one of the global leaders in aesthetic medicine and beauty innovation. But trend-driven procedures promoted through viral content should always be approached carefully and realistically. So the main takeaway is simple: don't rely on viral before and after videos. Research the procedure, understand what is actually being done, consult qualified specialists, and remember that real aesthetic medicine is always more complex than it appears online. If you found this topic interesting, let us know in the comments. If you'd like to see more videos about Asian beauty trends, aesthetic procedures, and the impact of social media on beauty industry. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Miamo channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss on the future videos. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.